Thanks for watching Hidden Coin Channel, where all the coins you see are hidden until they appear on this channel. Please watch this entire video until the end. TNT Production 1, TNT Production 2, TNT Production 3, TNT Production 4, TNT Production 5, TNT Production 6, TNT Production 7, TNT Production 8, TNT Production 9, TNT Production 10, TNT Production 11, TNT Production 12, TNT Production 13, TNT Production 14, TNT Production 15, TNT Production 16, TNT Production 17, TNT Production 18, TNT Production 19, TNT Production 20, TNT Production 21, TNT Production 22, TNT Production 23, TNT Production 24, TNT Production 25, TNT Production 26, TNT Production 27, TNT Production 28, TNT Production 29, TNT Production 30, TNT Production 31, TNT Production 32, TNT Production 33, TNT Production 34, TNT Production 35, TNT Production 36, TNT Production 37, TNT Production 38, TNT Production 39, TNT Production 40, TNT Production 41, TNT Production 42, TNT Production 43, TNT Production 44, TNT Production 45, TNT Production 46, TNT Production 47, TNT Production 48, TNT Production 49, TNT Production 50, TNT Production 51, TNT Production 52, TNT Production 53, TNT Production 54, TNT Production 55, TNT Production 56, TNT Production 57, TNT Production 58, TNT Production 59, TNT Production 60, TNT Production 61, TNT Production 62, TNT Production 63, TNT Production 64, TNT Production 65, TNT Production 66, TNT Production 67, TNT Production 68, TNT Production 69, TNT Production 70, TNT Production 71, TNT Production 72, TNT Production 73, TNT Production 74, TNT Production 75, TNT Production 76, TNT Production 77, TNT Production 78, TNT Production 79, TNT Production 80, TNT Production 81, TNT Production 82, TNT Production 83, TNT Production 84, TNT Production 85, TNT Production 86, TNT Production 87, TNT Production 88, TNT Production 89, TNT Production 90, TNT Production 91, TNT Production 92, TNT Production 93, TNT Production 94, TNT Production 95, TNT Production 96, TNT Production 97, TNT Production 98, TNT Production 99, TNT Production 100.